Have you ever taken a trade you knew was wrong the moment you clicked buy? Like something inside you was screaming, "Stop, this is not the setup, wait." But you did it anyway. And then it lost. Of course it lost. And you sat there thinking, "I knew it. I literally knew it. Why did I do that?" If that has ever happened to you, I need you to watch this entire video, because what I am about to share is not the usual trading psychology advice you have heard 100 times. This is different. And by the end of this, the way you think about trading is going to shift in a way that actually sticks. What is important is that I was you, blowing up accounts, revenge trading, turning $200 losses into $2,000 losses in the same afternoon, quitting, coming back, doing it all over again, until one thing changed everything. And hey, before I forget, I need to tell you something that ties directly into this. There is a hidden biological reason why we sabotage our own money like that, and it is quietly draining the average American savings account without them ever realizing it. I will share how to protect yourself and fix it in about 2 minutes, because it blew my mind when I found out. But back to what I was saying. And it had nothing to do with a new strategy, a new indicator, or a new broker. It had everything to do with how I started thinking. Here's how my trading used to go. I would wake up, make coffee, open my charts feeling good, feeling ready. I would spot what looked like a solid setup. I would tell myself, this is the one. I would enter the trade, then price would dip a little. Just a small pullback, totally normal. But something would happen in my chest, this tight feeling, this little whisper that said, what if you're wrong? What if this keeps dropping? So I would stare at it, watching every single candle like my life depended on it. And then it would dip a little more, and the whisper would get louder. So I would move my stop loss down just a tiny bit, just to give it more room. And then it would hit that stop too. Now I'm not just losing money, I'm angry, I'm embarrassed, I feel like an idiot. So I go right back in, same trade, bigger size this time, because I'm gonna win this back. And within the hour, I have turned a manageable $150 loss into an $800 disaster. Sound familiar? That was my Tuesday, my Wednesday, my Thursday. For almost 2 full years, that was my trading life. Now here's what I left out earlier, and this is the hidden truth that is probably costing you thousands right now. When you get that tight feeling in your chest, your brain is actually shifting into a specific frequency that shuts down logic and forces you into panic mode. The big institutions know this. They literally rely on your brain doing this to take your money. I found a breakdown that shows exactly how to flip a biological switch to block that frequency, so you keep your hard-earned money safe and stay completely ice cold during a trade. I cannot put the whole thing up here because they love taking this kind of stuff down, but if you go to my Instagram and message me the word brainwaves, I will send you the private link directly. It is totally free. I just want to make sure the people who actually need it get it before it gets scrubbed. So just message me brainwaves on Instagram right now, like grabbing a coupon before someone else takes it off the shelf. Now here is the part that really messed with my head. I was doing everything the trading psychology content told me to do. I was journaling every single trade, writing down what I was feeling, what I was thinking, what I did right, what I did wrong. I was meditating every morning for 15 minutes before I even touched my charts. I had sticky notes on my monitor with rules. Do not revenge trade. Stick to your plan. Cut your losers. Let your winners run. I read 3 different trading psychology books, marked them up, took notes. I watched hours of content about mindset and emotional discipline, and none of it worked. I mean, some days were better, but the blow-up days kept happening. The stupid trades kept happening. The same mistakes kept showing up like clockwork. And I started to wonder if maybe I just was not built for this. Maybe some people have what it takes and some people do not. Maybe I was just wired wrong. Have you ever felt that way? Like everyone else seems to be figuring it out and you are stuck in the same loop no matter what you try? That is exactly where I was. And then I stumbled onto something that completely reframed everything. I was watching a documentary late one night, nothing to do with trading. It was about military snipers, and there was this segment where a veteran instructor was being interviewed. Old guy, calm, quiet, the kind of calm that you can tell is not an act. And the interviewer asked him what separates a great sniper from an average one. He did not talk about skill, he did not talk about equipment, he did not talk about physical ability. He said this: a great sniper does not fight the urge to pull the trigger. He designs the situation so the urge never shows up in the first place. I sat up straight. He kept going. He said, by the time a sniper is in position, every decision has already been made. He knows exactly what the target looks like. He knows exactly what conditions have to be true. He knows exactly what angle, what wind, what distance. And if those conditions are not perfectly met, the trigger does not even enter his mind. He is not suppressing the urge. There is no urge. By the way, a bunch of you already headed over to message me. Good. The people who already grabbed that breakdown are definitely a step ahead, but if you have not done it yet, you can still catch up. Just shoot me the word brainwaves on Instagram and I will send it over, because the decision was already made hours ago in a calm, quiet room far away from the pressure of the moment. I paused the video. I just sat there in the dark thinking about how different that was from everything I had been told about trading psychology. Because all the advice I had been following was about what to do in the moment. Control yourself in the moment. Breathe in the moment. Check your emotions in the moment. But the sniper never lets the moment control the decision. The decision controls the moment. That is the shift. Right there, that is the whole thing. Let me explain why this matters so much from a brain science perspective, and I promise I will keep this simple. When you are sitting at your desk watching live price action with real money on the line, your brain is doing something very specific. The emotional part of your brain, the part that handles fear and survival and threat response, starts firing hard. It sees the red candles, it registers the loss, and it sounds the alarm. And here is the problem. That emotional brain is faster than your logical brain. By the time your rational thinking kicks in to say, wait, this is just a normal pullback, stick to your plan, the emotional brain has already started pulling you toward action, toward doing something, toward stopping the pain. This is not a character flaw. This is not weakness. This is literally how human brains work. We are not wired for trading. We are wired for survival. And in survival mode, doing nothing while something bad is happening feels impossible. So all the journaling in the world will not help you if you're trying to make the decision while your emotional brain is already running the show. Think about that for a second. Operating in that survival mode is costing the average American household hundreds, sometimes thousands of dollars a year without them ever realizing it. They just think it is the cost of doing business. That breakdown I told you about covers exactly how to stop the emotional brain from hijacking your wallet. Message me brainwaves and you will see exactly what I mean. The sniper does not try to beat the emotional brain in the moment. He removes the decision from the moment entirely. And that is exactly what we have to learn to do as traders. So what does this actually look like in practice? Let me get specific, because I do not want this to be another video you watch, feel inspired by, and then do nothing with. Here is the framework I use. I call it the Sniper Protocol. 3 simple steps. Step 1 is what I call the mission brief. Every single trading day, before you open your platform, before you look at a single chart, you sit down with a notepad or your journal and you write out your trade criteria for that day. And I mean specific, not I will buy if it looks good. That is not a mission brief. That is a feeling. Your mission brief sounds like this: I am only looking for trades on this specific setup. Price needs to be at this level. These specific conditions need to be true. If those boxes are not checked, I am not trading today, period. Now here is what happens when you do this. Later, when you are watching the charts and something starts moving and your gut says jump in, you already have your answer. You look at your notepad, Does it match? No? Then it is not your trade, and you feel nothing about it. You are not fighting temptation, you are not using willpower, the decision is already made. That is the sniper in position with his criteria set. The trigger does not enter his mind because the conditions are not right. Step 2 is what I call the acceptable loss. Before you enter any trade, you decide one thing and one thing only. How much are you willing to lose on this trade if you are completely wrong? Not how much you hope to make, not what your profit target is, not how good the setup looks. How much are you willing to lose? And here is the key. That number has to be small enough that losing it does not change your emotional state. If losing it makes you angry, it is too big. If losing it makes you anxious, it is too big. If losing it wants you to get it back immediately, it is too big. It needs to be small enough that if you lose it, you genuinely just say, okay, that did not work, next. Because when your risk per trade is small enough, you stop needing the trade to work, and that changes everything about how you trade. The sniper is always prepared to miss the shot. He planned for it, he accounted for it. This is the part they do not teach you because it is not profitable for the industry if you know it. They want you trading big and trading often. When you message me the word brainwaves on Instagram, I will send you the full picture on how to shield yourself from their traps. It makes perfect sense once you see it. A miss does not destabilize him. He just resets and waits for the next opportunity. Step 3 is the one most people completely skip, and it is possibly the most important. I call it deliberate boredom. Your job as a trader is not to trade constantly. Your job is to wait. 80% of your time in front of the charts should be you doing nothing, watching, waiting, letting setups that do not meet your criteria just pass. And I know that feels wrong, especially when you see price moving and your brain is saying you are missing out, you should be in this, everyone else is making money right now. But that feeling is the enemy. The sniper sits in position for hours sometimes, watching, waiting, perfectly still, letting targets that do not meet his criteria walk right past him. He is not bored in the way we think of bored. He is purposefully inactive. There is a difference. Purposeful inactivity is a skill, and it might be the most valuable skill you can build as a trader. Now I want to talk about something a little deeper, and this is the part that most trading content avoids. The real reason most traders cannot follow their rules even when they know them is not lack of discipline, it is desperation. They are trading money they cannot afford to lose. They need this to work, not want, need. And when you need something to work, your brain starts lying to you. It makes weak setups look strong. It makes you hold losing trades because closing them means admitting you were wrong. It makes you size up after losses because you have to make it back before the day ends. Desperation rewrites what you see on the charts, and no amount of journaling or meditation fixes desperation. You cannot meditate your way out of needing rent money. The only fix is trading with money you are genuinely okay losing. I know that is not what anyone wants to hear, especially if you are in a tough spot financially and trading feels like a way out. But here's what I want you to really hear. Trading will not save you from financial pressure. It will multiply the pressure until something breaks. If you have kids or aging parents at home depending on you, what I just described matters even more. You cannot afford to let stress dictate your financial future. That is all covered in what I put together. Just send that message and I will get it to you. The path forward is to start with smaller size than feels meaningful. I mean embarrassingly small. $5 trades, $10 trades, whatever lets you practice the process without the desperation. Master the sniper mindset on small size. Get good at waiting. Get good at following your mission brief. Get good at taking the acceptable loss and moving on. Then scale up slowly, because the skills that make you profitable at small size are exactly the same skills that make you profitable at big size. The only difference is the dollar amount. Here is what happened when I actually applied all of this. The first thing I noticed was that I was trading way less frequently. I would go entire days without taking a single trade because nothing met my criteria. And at first, that felt terrible, like I was wasting time, like I should be doing something. But then, something weird happened. The trades I did take started working more often. Because I was only taking the cleanest setups, the ones that checked every single box on my mission brief. And when the trade did not work, I was out quickly. Small loss, on to the next day. No spiral, no revenge trading, no ruined afternoon. Because I had already decided before the trade that this was the acceptable loss if I was wrong. So when I was wrong, there was nothing to react to. My account started growing slowly, steadily, without the blow-up days that used to wipe out weeks of progress. Not because my strategy changed, not because the market got easier, because I stopped fighting myself inside every single trade. I want to leave you with this. If you are a beginner trader, you have something incredibly valuable right now that you probably do not appreciate. You have not built the bad habits yet. You have not wired in the revenge trading response. You have not burned through multiple accounts, chasing losses. You can build this the right way from day one. Do not take that for granted. If you are a struggling trader who has been at this for a while and nothing seems to be working, I want you to know something important. You are not broken. You are not wired wrong. You are not missing some special talent that other people have. You have just been trying to solve the wrong problem. You have been trying to manage emotions in real time instead of designing a process that makes those emotions irrelevant. You now know more than 90% of people watching this. You know that it is not about forcing discipline. It's about a biological setup. The ones who message me the word brainwaves will know the other 10%. The sniper does not battle the chaos of the battlefield. He removes himself from the chaos by preparing everything in advance. That's all this is. This week, try one thing. Before you open your platform tomorrow morning, write down exactly what your trade looks like. Every condition, every rule, every line in the sand. And then, if the market does not give you exactly that, close your laptop and walk away. That's it. That's your only homework. Do that for 1 week and tell me in the comments what happened. Trade less. Think more. Wait for your shot. That sniper stillness you were looking for, that clarity, it does not come from trying harder in the moment. It comes from deciding better before the moment arrives. See you in the next one. And listen, before you go, doing nothing with what you just learned today is just going to lead to the exact same blown accounts and stress tomorrow. You deserve to keep the money you worked hard for. Go to my Instagram right now, type in the word brainwaves, and I will send you that free breakdown on how to lock your mind into that perfect frequency. It takes 5 seconds and you will walk away knowing exactly how to protect your capital from your own survival instincts. Do not leave that on the table. Message me now and I'll see you over there.